afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's really a privilege for me to be here as we begin this forum on the CEO's Forum for Accelerating Business Actions for Realizing Sustainable Development Goals. We all know that SDGs 2030, not very far away, and actions on SDGs is something which we are all worried about. Where are we currently and where do we really see ourselves by 2030? And to share their views, I have a line of spectacular speakers with me who are leaders in their, in the work that they do. Not necessarily, I always say that every person in an organization is the CEO, right? For the work that he or she is doing. Likewise, and I have some excellent people who are providing leadership to the work that they do in their respective organizations. We unfortunately don't have one speaker who's unable to join us. He's an advocate, and I'm sure that his hearings must have extended beyond the designated time. But let me give a very brief introduction to the people that we have here. Mr. Manish Chaurasia, who is the CEO of the Corporate and Clean Tech Finance Tata Capital Limited. We have Vineet Handa, founder and CEO of Kaizen. We have Mr. Takahashi, who is the Executive Director, Institute of Global Environmental Strategies. Then we have, of course, Neha Upadhyay, who's been the founder of Gunaorganics. And then my own colleague, the Senior Fellow and Associate Director, Dr. Livleen Kellon in TERI. What I would want to do is give each one of you, for your initial remarks. All right, so should we begin with Neha? Okay, Neha, why don't you give your initial remarks?
Yes, Namaskar, Julie. Thank you for assembling this winter afternoon, and thank you to Terry and the panelists for this opportunity. So, I am Neha Upadhyay. I have been a green social entrepreneur working in remote Ladakh. We have adopted 8 villages and we provide them training in organic farming and solar technology to create indigenous organic solar dried products with the help of frugal innovation. We have been closely working with the SDGs of climate action, responsible production and consumption, and access to affordable energy. I would like to say that women entrepreneurship statistics in India are very poor. We are only 14% registered with Niti Aayog, out of which 3% get funding and out of which only 1% survive. And the same statistics can draw an analogy with our women farmers who work for 3,485 hours, whereas male farmers work for 1,212 hours. So I have been working very closely with women farmers and developing India's first eco-village called Takmachik. How we differentiate our practices with other organic companies or other sustainable companies is that we work very hard on traceability. Because many a times we see organic products coming from large-scale stores and they are not very genuine. And even export houses have been sending them back. So we have been raising villages carefully who are trained not to use any urea, chemicals, color, hybrid seeds, and focus on guna sattva. As some of us know, there are 3 gunas according to Indian Ayurveda: guna sattva, guna rajas, and guna tamas. So we focus on sattvic farming and sattvic eating. In the last 4 to 5 years, with the support of the Indian government, especially Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and Department of Science and Technology, we have distributed solar dryers, solar cookers, solar kits, solar butter churners to our indigenous communities who have far been neglected. And we have it on record from the state government that they received these items, renewable energy, after 24 years. So this was a great achievement for us and our family. I would like to add that my grandfather was responsible for building Asia's first solar village, which is Sarai Sadi in Uttar Pradesh.
Great.
Our interventions have reduced 536 kgs of greenhouse gas emissions over a period of 8 months per household in Ladakh, and we want to continue this work by gaining support of the private sector, Our challenges, as I have been encouraged to talk about the challenges we face with the private sector, is that many a times for CSR and other kinds of funding, most corporate houses want some area close to them. So say for instance, if the corporate is based in Gurgaon, they want to work in a village in Haryana. Or in Noida, so they would want something in UP or close to Delhi. The same happens in Maharashtra. All the corporates are based in Mumbai and Pune. They say, why don't you take up some village here? So they don't realize that the villages we took up in Ladakh were because they were flash flood victims. Ladakh was affected with flash floods in 2010, 11, 14, 15 and 17. Year after year, the population went through this disaster and we decided to not leave them alone. So that's one challenge we face with the corporates. When we try to link them with Amazon and other biggies, their margins are so high that the farmers are not able to get anything. And there is one big victory. The 8 villages that we work in, this is a statistic from the Department of Industries. We were initially purchasing those apricots, walnuts and barley for 150 rupees a kilo. In the last 6 years, they've gone up to 465 rupees a kilo. And if you compare them with the apricots in Zanskar or other areas where we don't work, you can still find them for 200 rupees or 250 rupees. So we have enhanced the livelihoods at the grassroots level as well. Before the pandemic, and I really believe that this is the power of feminine care, we were able to reverse migration in the villages from 27 to 75 households. We had young men coming back from Jammu, Chandigarh, Srinagar to be a part of organic. It became the buzzword. They were very happily making solar cooked breads and biscuits in the solar cookers. So I really want to highlight the significance between Prakriti and Janani. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Neha. How can business actions be accelerated for realizing sustainable development goals?
I would like to take from Manish ji and Livin ma'am. So there's a lot of talk on taxonomy and execution. There is considerable amount of money that is spent on just revising the terminology, taxonomy from millennium goals to sustainable goals. And this is something that I have faced, that bridging the gap between the grassroots remote villages, executives and officials working in green agencies and ministries here in New Delhi, and also our international fraternity. It is so difficult. It's almost like Chinese whispers, from the grassroots to the global scenario. So that needs to be measured, but it's not something that we don't understand. It's something that has to be measured. And secondly, I would like to disagree. I think execution agencies in India and South Asia are enough to take the bandwagon forward to create solar jobs and to, for last mile distribution. However, they are not handheld as the statistics that I mentioned earlier. So most definitely, we need holistic development. Like Livin ma'am said, a happy planet, a happy sustainable organization. Also, according to McKinsey, wherever there is diversity and green inclusivity, where greenhouse gas emissions are mapped, liquefied petroleum gas emissions are mapped, those companies showed higher profits. Since Manish ji and the Tata Group talk about value maximization and profits, those companies have showed higher growth over a period of time. Also yesterday at the marine conference, we heard that plastic usage will increase 3 times by the next 25 years. This is a report from the Norwegian government, so it's really very alarming. And so definitely we need to look at all of this. How is the private sector? I don't think the farmers are creating this kind of waste or the weavers are creating this kind of the waste. India and the global south is looked as a large market and a manufacturing hub. This view and mindset has to change. The orders are coming from the global north, if you see, and big marketplaces are, disposing IT products, automobiles, etc. So we have to start with that shift, and for that we need a holistic development.
Okay. We'll have to hold on there.
Okay, and just lastly,
okay,
sir.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Quickly.
So I would like to conclude that I use the term Guna Sattva, which is an Ayurvedic. So definitely all companies, public sector units, NGOs, CSOs, we have to look at low material usage and that is Guna Sattva. Sattva means the most minimalized usage.
You mentioned that.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.